loves, it's your girl Miss Natural Journey, and I am here to finally record this video in regards to the birth of my daughter. Yes, her name is Trinity Rose. She was born on April 6th, and I know I did not update any kind of like third trimester video. I did record one, but it was just so hectic that I never actually got a chance to edit it and upload it. So I'll let you guys know in this video kind of how the end of my pregnancy went, and then also show you baby girl who I'm actually holding. I'll give you guys a glimpse of her in just a moment. So like I said, she was born on April 6th. She was 8 pounds 1 ounce, which is, you know, pretty healthy for a baby. And she was pretty long. She was 20.75 inches. So she was almost 21 inches. Third trimester came around, and at my 36-week checkup, the doctor actually told me he wanted to do a sonogram to see what position she was in and kind of go from there. So I did the sonogram, and come to find out she's actually breech. So her head was at the top of my belly, her butt was at the bottom, and as you know, you can't really give birth that way, or it's not safe to give birth that way. So he scheduled me a C-section, and the whole time I was like, you know, I'm perfectly healthy. There's no reason why I should have to have a C-section. There's just no reason why. Never, ever get into the attitude or the mindset that it could never happen to you, because it definitely happened to me. So, scheduled the C-section. I did some walking. I tried to do different positions to get her to flip, and she just would not. I could literally feel her head at the top of my belly. So eventually I just went ahead and embraced it, and, you know, kind of just thought, you know, if it happens, it happens. As long as she gets here safely, that is all that matters. So the week of arrived, and I was actually supposed to have her on the 7th at 6:30 in the morning. And if you know anything about having C-sections, you have to be there 2 hours early. So I would have had to be at the hospital at 4:30 for a 6:30 surgery, which I was not happy about, but you know, it was what it was. My doctor was not happy about that either. So the day before, I guess something was canceled. They basically got an open spot in the schedule for the hospital. So they called me that morning and asked me if I wanted to take advantage of the 1 p.m. appointment or opening at the hospital to have my C-section done. So that's why I ended up having her on the 6th instead of the 7th. And yeah, so I took advantage of that. And just to give you guys a quick rundown of the C-section, and I want to do a very detailed video on just tips and advice for C-section mothers, because, you know, I did a lot of research and I kind of psyched myself out a little bit, but the experience was different than I expected. So we got to the hospital. They immediately sent me upstairs to get relaxed, to get changed, and then eventually to get my IV put in. IV sucked. Okay, I've never been in the hospital. I've never had to do any of that before, and the IV was probably the most painful part. Well, one of the most painful parts. So I got the IV put in. They drew blood, all that good stuff. Wheeled me over to the hospital surgery room, and they put me on the table that I was going to be laying on. They elevated it so that the anesthesiologist would be almost eye level with my lower back. So I'm sitting up here on top of this thing, and the nurse is in front of me. She kind of has me, you know, hunched over, trying to keep my back straight and all that good stuff. And they went ahead and inserted the spinal, is what they call it. So they inserted the medicine, and it's not a epidural. It's not an epidural. Epidural, they put the tube inside of you, and they can administer more medicine as you need it. With a spinal, they just insert the medicine. They numb you, and they insert the medicine. So that's what I got, and it was a bit uncomfortable. It wasn't unbearable at all. Just imagine like a bee sting, a strong bee sting for like 60 seconds. So yeah, you know, I kind of winced and ooh and ah, but it was not unbearable whatsoever. So did that. They had me lay down, spread eagle. I tell you, when you're having a baby, seriously, like all shame goes out the window. All modesty goes out the window, because you just have to be open, and you can't really worry about that stuff, you know, being topless or, you know, showing the goods or whatnot. You just have to do what you have to do to have your baby. So they had me spread eagle, and they were inserting the catheter inside of my hoo-hoo. So yeah, they did that. I did not feel any pain. I felt them putting it in there and then inflating the balloon, but it didn't hurt at all. So then they had me lay back, and eventually my doctor came in with another doctor, and he was telling jokes to get me to relax and all that good stuff. And I started feeling tingly all over, and then they started pinching me and poking me just to see if I could feel any pain, and eventually I could not. So they got started, and they put the little curtain up. My husband came in, and he held my hand the entire time. It was crazy. It was just a strange feeling. Like, the sensations were just so weird that it made me just like, I was literally laying there like, what the hell? Like, oh my God, what are they doing? You feel the tugging, you feel the pulling, you just feel all kind of stuff going on in your abdomen, and you can't tell what it is. It's just weird. So, you know, for about 20 minutes, I laid there like, oh my God, what is going on? What are they doing? I started feeling a little discomfort, so they gave me some more medicine, which made me a little woozy. So yeah, the doctor kind of jokingly said, we know she's still a girl, because the first thing they saw were her bottom area. So right after he said that, he pulled her out, and a few seconds later, I heard her crying, and I got extremely emotional. It's a indescribable feeling, like when you hear your baby crying for the first time. You carry this baby for 40 weeks, and some of us more than that. And you hear the baby cry, and it's just like, thank you, Lord, that she's safe. Thank you that this has come to an end. It's a bit of a relief also. And it's just an amazing feeling. It's really, really, really hard to describe. So I got very emotional. My husband went over to, you know, watch them wash her off and kind of wipe her down. And he brought her over to me, and I believe I have a couple pictures. I'll insert them into this video. And I was just overwhelmed with emotion. I was happy. I was just relieved. I was a little nervous because I'm like, this is getting real now. Like, I'm really a parent now. And it was just amazing. It was a truly, truly, truly an amazing experience. And so they took her away to the nursery to wash her off, to officially wash her off, wash her hair and everything. And they will be over to recovery for about an hour. I was very drowsy, very sleepy, because the medicine they gave me was some good stuff. So I was kind of smiling, and while they were wheeling me over to the recovery room, the nurse was like, you know, oh, you must have got some good medicine because you're very happy right now. So I was very excited and, you know, very sleepy at the same time. So I kind of rested for a little while. Then they brought her over, and it was time to try to breastfeed. And that was a whole nother situation. I was very nervous, but I just went ahead and did it. I was like, you know, I'm gonna do it wrong first time, but I need help, so I need to go ahead and try. So she latched on very quickly. It did not hurt. The first few times it did not hurt. And I was excited because I'm like, okay, breastfeeding is gonna be easier than I thought. Yay me. That is not the case whatsoever. By the end of the second day, I was still in the hospital, and I became extremely engorged to the point where she did not want to latch on anymore. So I got very, you know, discouraged and nervous because I couldn't feed my baby, and I had to have the nurse come over. We tried pumping a little bit, tried squeezing a little bit, hand expressing a little bit, and like nothing was really helping. So they gave her some formula and mixed with my breast milk, and she was fine. The next day, I was still engorged, and I finally got to speak to the lactation consultant, who I basically had to have help me squeeze and massage my boobs, which was the most painful part of the entire process. More painful than the C-section recovery, more painful than everything. It was just horrible. So yeah, I had to do that, and then she told me when I go home to pump 15 minutes on each breast to relieve them, basically. So they were so engorged that nothing was coming out hardly, which is crazy. So yeah, that happened, and then we went home eventually. And you know, real life started, and we had to take care of the baby, and she woke up every couple of hours to eat, every 2 to 3 hours, and you know, we kind of at this point we have our groove, kind of what we do. We make sure, you know, I have an app on my phone that alerts me whenever I need to feed her. And basically, if she's asleep, we wake her up, or she wake up on her own, and we immediately change her because we already know she either pooped or peed. And so we wake her up and we change her and then we feed her. So trying to like eliminate the crying as much as possible, just catch it beforehand, because a baby won't really eat. Some babies don't want to eat if they are dirty, pretty much. So yeah, we've gotten our groove, and you know, things are getting smoother. We take her out here and there. I just went shopping a little while ago and took her with me while my husband is at work. And I'm still on maternity leave for another 3 weeks. So I'm just enjoying this time with her, getting to know her. She has a little personality already, and she's just a blessing. Like, I'm just blessed to have such a sweet baby, and she doesn't cry unless she needs something, which is awesome. Sleeps a lot, and you know, we're finding our way. So let me show you guys her really quickly. Let's see how I can do this. This is the baby. Say hello, Trinity. I hope she was in the shot. I hope she was in the shot. If not, I'll insert some pictures and all that other good stuff. So yeah, anywho, she's here. We're happy. We're parents now, and we're just getting it going. So I'm going to be doing a couple more videos on parenting and the things that has helped us so far. Some must-haves for a newborn, and then also more details on the C-section. So stay tuned, and I'm also going to have my natural hair videos up soon. I actually went to a natural hair event the other day for Carol's daughter's hair product line, and I met the owner, or the founder and owner, and yeah, I'm going to be doing a review of some of their products. So stay tuned for that, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe, like this video, and I'll keep them coming. So until next time, peace. I don't know if you guys can see my 2 fingers, but yeah, peace. Oh, you're so good, babies.